Steve here with Table Rock Tea Company. A lot of people who visit our farm ask me about these bees. Now, we used to keep bees, but we don't do that anymore. But the reason for this video is not so much to talk about the bees, but to talk about the electric fencing that we use. Because it not only helps with beehives and all that, but it'll help with gardens. It'll help keep bears out, deer out, all of that. And this was a pretty surprising thing. So let me show you this real quick. You'll see we use these solar little solar fences, nothing, no big deal. And we use the poly wire. This thing has been here for a while. It's actually kind of disconnected, but we set up our beehive within this fence because we kept getting bears attacking our hive. So finally we got sick of that and we put up this electric fence. Now again, we don't have bees anymore. But if you'll notice, this fence is fairly low. It's got two wires on it, and this is actually not perfectly set up like I'm going to instruct you, but I'll tell you the right way to do it. But you can see there's a low wire here that's set at about 6 inches high, and then there's this upper wire that's set at about 14 inches high. Now, the cool thing about that is that it will keep out everything. It'll keep out deer, it'll keep out rabbits, it'll keep out bear, all of that stuff. And I didn't believe this at first until we went to Iowa and we visited Jennifer, my wife. Her grandfather had a big garden, and it was probably about I would say almost a quarter-acre garden, similar to ours. And I saw this setup of a fence around his garden, and I thought, okay, well, that's nice. It'll keep the rabbits and squirrels and stuff out. But I guess, you probably still have problems with deer. He said, oh no, not at all. Not a single hoof mark. And sure enough, we tried it here for years, and same thing. And the way Jennifer's grandfather explained it is that deer actually have a depth perception problem. So if you build a fence for a deer, you have to go like 14 feet high. I mean, it's a lot. They'll jump crazy high. But for some reason in that 14-inch range, the deer have this depth perception problem and they don't know what to do with it. So they either kick the fence or they'll nuzzle it, and they'll get shocked and move on. And so that's really cool. So the many years that we had a garden, about 1/8 of an acre garden, we had that type of fencing around it. And it was great. There was not a single hoof print or paw print anywhere in there. We also know that this particular fence has kept bears out because we've seen the paw prints. We can see exactly where they nuzzled the fence, got shocked on the nose. If you think of a bear's wet nose, yeah. And what's really cool about this setup, we'll go back to here, is that you can, it's unplugged, but you can simply step over it, or if you need to run any kind of a tractor or whatever, you can just unhook 2 sections, put a brick on top of it, roll your implement right over it, do whatever you need to do, rototilling or whatever, roll back out, and then just rehook it up. And it's super simple. It's very convenient, and yes, it does work. There's no reason to try to put in all these crazy big giant fences to keep deer out. This will actually do the trick. One line set at 6 inches, that keeps all the small stuff out. One line set at 14 inches, that keeps the big stuff out. So I hope that helps. Give it a try. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what else is brewing here at Table Rock Tea Company.